'Twas the night before Christmas. Tom jumped in his car, drove off to the pub and entered the bar, ordered a beer from a member of staff and told him a joke which made the guy laugh. Looking around as he sipped at his drink, Tom spied young Michelle and gave her a wink. She flashed him a smile with teeth gleaming white. Play the right cards and he's in there tonight. As the pub slowly filled with folk of good cheer, Tom tipped up his glass and finished his beer, ordered a whiskey to drink while he waits for the timely arrival of his best drinking mates. A mile down the road, in a house filled with glee, presents were wrapped and put under the tree. Christmassy lights gave out a warm glow, lighting a Santa and reindeer tableau. John and Marie were filled with such joy, they'd scrimped and they'd scraped for their little boy, to get him the toys he'd put down on his list. All that he'd asked for, not one had they missed. He was over at Nan's house, was little boy Joe, where Pop dressed as Santa and roared ho ho ho. To a 6-year-old boy this was such a delight, and he laughed with excitement on Christmas Eve night. Back at the pub the party was swinging, karaoke singers were tunelessly singing. Tom's mates had arrived, all ready for fun, and the flow of the liquor had swiftly begun. It's 9 o'clock, Pop says to little boy Joe. Put on your coat and it's back home we go. Climbing the car, feeling jolly and bright, selecting first gear, then into the night. Back in the pub with Michelle by his side, Tom felt quite merry and giggly inside. Come now, my sweet, let's off to a club. And so hand in hand they strolled from the pub. Steering his car through the dark country lanes, Pop was belting out Christmas refrains, Rudolph and sleigh bells and songs about snow, and singing along was his grandson Joe. Michelle felt quite nervy as Tom drove his car. She was beginning to wish she was still in the bar. He was driving too fast. Should she intercede? Tell him slow down? She didn't like speed. Tom didn't notice the bend in the road. The booze had kicked in, his reactions had slowed. The last thing he saw were 2 lights up ahead, and when he came round, poor Michelle was dead. He clutched at his chest and felt his heart thud as he looked at her face and saw nothing but blood. With tears in his eyes, Tom climbed from the shell, out through the door and straight into hell. The car he had hit was burning so bright, sparks just like fireflies dancing the night. Gaily wrapped parcels were strewn all around, near the form of a child, so still on the ground. Tom scrambled across to little Joe's side. It took just one look to know that he'd died. Joe's body all broken, the poor little one. Tom cried out in anguish, God, what have I done? The distinct sound of banging then came to his ear. Turning, Tom looked with eyes widening with fear. He saw an old man in the fierce burning wreck, flames licking over his face and his neck. Tom watched in horror, holding his breath, watching the old man burning to death. With accusing eyes the man stared at Tom, and then the car went up, just like a bomb. His body was hit by a fierce searing heat as the force of the blast knocked Tom off his feet. Morpheus caught him and conjured his spell, and into a deep well of darkness he fell. The next thing he knew, he woke up in his bed, covered in sweat from his feet to his head, when all of a sudden he let out a scream. Relief flooded through him. 'Twas naught but a dream. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Tom walked past his car, left his car keys at home, caught a bus to the bar, ordered a beer from a member of staff, told him a joke, which made the guy laugh. Tom had a dream, but the lesson was clear. Never mix driving with spirits or beer. Any night before Christmas, please stop and think. If you're going to be driving, for God's sake, don't drink.